Hey guys, what's up? My name's Sasha and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, so bear with me. But in this video, I'm going to be taking you guys behind the scenes of how we make the Noble House of Black, and we're going to do a prop tour of all the props that we use when filming Noble House of Black. So that's it for my introduction. If you like this content, like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for all of the excitement that's coming in season 2 and season 3 of the Noble House of Black. Okay, so this is the bucket of props that we use. So hopefully you can see me okay. This is my first time filming a vlog, so I'm learning, but I'm just gonna walk you guys through all the props that we use, where I got them, what we use them for, and yeah, that's it. So this first one is a personal favorite of mine. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you followed the saga of trying to find a Death Eater mask, because I saw this online and I thought it would be the perfect Death Eater mask. And so I got it, and it actually is really pretty. It's pretty high quality. However, wait for it. This is how big it is. So instead I ordered these masks, and these ones come off of Amazon. I'll link the product description for where I got all of these things in the description for this video. But this is the mask that we use for Regulus, and this is the one that we use for Lucius. For Bellatrix, we actually got the official Death Eater mask from Universal, but Karina, who plays Bellatrix in this series, she took the mask with her when she moved. So she has her Bellatrix mask. And there's just a couple of scenes in season 2 and season 3 where we have all 3 of our Death Eaters in the cast, which are Regulus, Lucius, and Bellatrix. So these are the masks that they use in those scenes. They're actually really sturdy, and I'll show you on this side, they have padding on the back of them, although they definitely have stabbed our actors in the eye, particularly our Lucius. When we were filming a scene where he has to rip off of his Death Eater mask, he accidentally stabbed himself in the eye, so that wasn't the best. And if you can see, they have little bungee straps on the back of them. Same thing with Bellatrix's mask. There was one scene that we were trying to film in the bathroom where Bellatrix has this whole emotional moment where she dresses into her Death Eater outfit, and it represents sort of this transition of Bellatrix moving into the Death Eater lifestyle. And I really wanted Karina to put on the Death Eater mask and then walk out of the door, but you have to use the straps. And so in all of the scenes, she would put it on like this, and then she would have to balance like this so that it wouldn't fall off of her face. It was not the best. It just didn't quite work. Here we use these books. I actually got these books when we went to Universal Studios, and I have a couple of them. This one is Quidditch Through the Ages, and if you'll notice, this is one that Andromeda carries around a lot, and Lucius, whenever he's sitting at the table, he has a Quidditch Through the Ages. One thing that we wrote in for Lucius's character was that he was into gambling and liked to gamble on Quidditch matches. So that's a little Easter egg that we put different Quidditch details. This book is obviously Tales of Beetle and the Bard. It's actually a pretty good replica of the book that they use in the actual movie. We have 2 pairs of robes that we use in the filming. One is slightly bigger. They're both Slytherin robes. These are the robes that we have on Bellatrix in all of her scenes. And then when Bellatrix graduates from Hogwarts, Andromeda wears these robes and Narcissa wears the slightly smaller ones. I would imagine that in the House of Black, the sisters would probably pass around robes occasionally. So we have this pair of Slytherin robes and then one that's slightly darker. Both of these we got off of Etsy from official licensed vendors. So this is one of the few things that we sprung for the money to get the official licensed robes, and I'm really happy with them. I think that they're really pretty. This is one of my favorite props that we use, is Narcissa's wand that I use in filming. And I really like this wand because hers and Lucius's have pretty similar details. They're both very prissy and pretty. We actually started filming the series with wands that we had handmade from hot glue, and then as it became more of a thing, we decided to actually spring for the more expensive wands. A fun fact from behind the scenes is that when we were filming the duel between Bellatrix and Andromeda, Bellatrix's wand broke in the middle of our filming. So in the middle of the day when we were trying to get the scene done, we had to go run and get super glue and glue her wand back together. The duel we actually had to shoot twice. The first time we shot it, we were running out of light and we didn't really have time to choreograph the fight sequences that we wanted. So we decided about 2 weeks ago to refilm the duel. And we had scheduled it to film at about 12 noon, but the problem was that day was super sunny and super warm in Salt Lake City, and so we went outside to go start our filming, and the sun glare was just disgusting. We couldn't film in it. So we went inside and we were making plans to scrap filming that day and come back the next day at like 5 in the morning to film the duel when the lighting would be softer. But we were all eating lunch together and suddenly Summer, who plays Andromeda, said, "Clouds!" And we all looked out the window and this huge storm had rolled in. So all of our footage from the duel between Bellatrix and Andromeda has this insane windstorm and dust storm going in the background, and it turned out super cool and was honestly the perfect setting to film the duel between the two of them. This is the wand that we use for Andromeda. It's actually a wand from the Fantastic Beasts series. I believe it belongs to Tina, but it's very straight, similar to Narcissa's, but it has a much simpler, warmer look to it, which really I think matches the character of Andromeda. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but we tend to dress Andromeda in warmer colors. Bellatrix wears pretty much exclusively black with a little bit of green. Narcissa wears green again and then adds more and more and more black as she moves more towards the Death Eater lifestyle. Whereas Andromeda starts in greens and whites and blacks, and she adds more color and her wardrobe becomes funkier and more fun as the season goes on and as her life progresses away from the House of Black lifestyle and more towards the Order of the Phoenix lifestyle. This is a bag of ties that we use for filming, and we actually sell these on archivesunday.com. That's my small business. So if you want to get a tie that matches us, we sell them in 4 different colors, and we wear the ties a lot throughout the series. I actually don't even know what's in these. Oh, okay. This one is Lucius's wand. This is a replica that we got from Noble House on Amazon. Again, I'll link this one. And if you look at the two side by side, you can see the similarities between the Lucius and Narcissa wand. So I really like these two wands, and I think that they're kind of a fun contrast. And we try to have Lucius and Narcissa have their matching wands whenever possible. We have 4 scarves that we use in filming. This is the Slytherin scarf that we have the girls wear a lot. In one of the scenes with Andromeda and Narcissa, I needed to give Andromeda something to do so that they weren't just sort of standing around talking to each other. So the headcanon that I had was that Andromeda was running late from meeting up with Ted, and so she needed Narcissa to bring her a change of clothes to go to her meeting. So in that scene in episode 1 of season 2, Narcissa brings Andromeda some clothes, and this scarf is one of the things that she brings. And then this Hufflepuff scarf is what we'll have Ted Tonks wear. There was a ton of debate on TikTok about whether or not Ted Tonks was a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw. This is one of the things that we did so much research into, was whether or not he was a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw. And it's never officially established in canon which house he was in. So we decided to put him in Hufflepuff because Tonks is in Hufflepuff, and Teddy Tonks, he ends up being in Hufflepuff, and he ends up becoming a prefect for Hufflepuff. So we thought that it was fitting to have Ted and Andromeda be Hufflepuff and Slytherin, Slitherpuff buddies. It just made more sense. These are the robes that we'll be using for our Ted Tonks. If you're watching this today, it is April something. If you're watching this today, we haven't filmed the Ted Tonks episode yet because our Ted Tonks actually got coronavirus. So we have to wait it out 2 more weeks to be able to film with him. But the Ted Tonks episode called Prefects Together, that will be dropping, and he'll be wearing these robes in that scene. Okay, part 2. Here is where we keep all of our small props. My cousin Janessa is the person that has been managing our props behind the scenes, and she does a great job because she's much more organized than I am. One little Easter egg that you might notice is behind the scenes, like literally in the background of the scenes, we have little props and Easter eggs. So this time turner actually makes an appearance in quite a few scenes because it would have been in the era before the time turners were destroyed. One headcanon of mine that we've written into House of Black pretty extensively is that Narcissa is good with divination, and Narcissa uses tarot cards quite a bit throughout the show. And sort of throughout the season, she alternates between using a crystal ball and tarot cards and tea leaves to make predictions about the future. I love the headcanon that Narcissa was good with divination because all of her decisions are so calculated and very much made from a place of self-preservation. Plus, I think it's interesting that despite being in the middle of the war, all of Narcissa's loved ones survive both wizarding wars except for Bellatrix, which you could argue that's because of Bellatrix's own choices. But the fact that Narcissa, Lucius, Draco, and Andromeda all survived both of the wars, to me that indicates that she probably had a little bit of foresight and knowledge. I also really love the idea of showcasing a character who has unconventional talents, because Narcissa, the way that I've written her, is not particularly good at school or competent at Hogwarts, but her divination talent is very helpful. These bows are made by Archive Sunday, and the girls wear bows almost all the time. I think it gives it such a fun classic schoolgirl look, particularly when they're at Hogwarts. We actually carry these bows in so many colors on the Archive Sunday website, so if you like the bows, you can go get one. They're only a couple of bucks. Here we have the Locket of Salazar Slytherin, and this one gets a lot of use on the show because we headcanon that Narcissa was the owner of the fake locket that Regulus used to swap out. So if you'll look closely in a lot of the scenes, Narcissa is wearing the Locket of Salazar Slytherin, and there's a scene in season 2 where Regulus comes to Narcissa and gets the fake locket from Narcissa. If you're a little fuzzy on this part from the books, the Locket of Salazar Slytherin is one of the Horcruxes that Voldemort uses in the cave, and when Harry and Dumbledore go to the cave in the Half-Blood Prince to retrieve a Horcrux, this is what they carry home, the fake locket that Regulus planted there after retrieving the real locket for himself. Okay, in these two little, I don't even know what to call them. This is the jewelry from the Noble House jewelry collection. A question that I get asked a lot is if we've monetized House of Black, and House of Black is not monetized either here or on TikTok, but we do make money from the Noble House jewelry collection if you'd like to support us. So for example, like these little earrings are like little snakes. All of the pieces in the collection are very carefully curated to match the House of Black aesthetic. And if you look closely, all of the jewelry that we wear in the show is in that Noble House jewelry collection. So if you want to match the rest of the Noble House of Black cast, and all of these little earrings and rings, go shop the Noble House jewelry collection. Hey y'all, that's all I got. That's it for the vlog. Thank you so much if you made it this far and watched the whole thing, and get excited because a new episode of Noble House of Black drops on Sunday night. See you guys.